Ahoy listeners, and welcome to the Yonko Podcast with me, Burke-Kun, and our crew, Alex and Brock. This is Chapter Review 1033. Detective Zoro is on the case as he puts together that 2 swords plus old man equals a sore arm. Queen gives his hot takes on his hot friend, and King acknowledges a would-be usurper. All this and more on today's episode of the Yonko Podcast. Let's jump right in. Let's set sail! Chapter 1033.
Shimotsuki Kozaburo.
Shimotsuki Kozaburo.
Shimotsuki Kozaburo. We've got a reader request. It's fucking Tashigi, guys.
Is this how we're doing this?
No.
Okay.
It's Tashigi as a bad guy, getting defeated by a bunch of baby penguins playing heroes by Soda Susu.
And Smoker does not look enthused at all.
Does he ever?
You know,
No.
I bet in his heart he loves this, but he can't show that because he's a tough boy.
Yeah, because the last time he showed it, Law stole it.
Law stole it, and it got gripped a lot. He's been touched in some really private places, my guy, if you really think about Smoker here.
Yeah.
I like how Tashigi's a villain just by having a shark on her head. I think
because
that's
they eat penguins.
adorable. Oh, well,
Should be a sea lion. Then.
Sea lion, then, wouldn't you say?
Well, in this case, it's a shark, because Oda says it's a shark, so fuck off.
Oda says a lot of things about dinosaurs, too, man.
And those are all true, so fuck off.
Alrighty.
And the flag has to be white because it's black and white.
On to the stuff!
Well, she's trying to surrender.
Surrender! I surrender!
Anyway.
How does Tashigi always
There will
does.
be no white flag upon my door. Anyways.
It's clear that you've been singing in rehearsals or something. That sounded so nice, even though it was a joke.
That was so lovely.
That was very nice. We returned outside the dome! Zoro versus King!
Guys, it's Zolo versus King.
That's his new Foxy joke. I sort of fucking
No,
guys, it's Zoro!
I will
Zoro,
never-
guys!
It's only a joke when we read the official, because that's the only time they'll do it.
It's Sunday, so it's the official, so we make fun of Zoro. But this is not a chapter to make fun of Zoro, in fact.
Yeah, they'll fucking cut you.
No, we're not making fun of...
As he's screaming, Enma! Who gave you permission to unleash your power?
And Men's over here like...
Enma's over here trying to suck Zoro's arm off. It's great.
What's wrong? Having an argument?
Huh? As King stands before Zoro. What do you think you're doing? And he shanks King into the...
No, that's Zoro.
Shanks.
That's not Shanks.
Shut up!
Zoro is shanking King
Zoro
right
shanks
in the right
King.
spot as King says, jackpot.
One Piece dad joke.
Huh? Boom, baby!
And he explodes. Because that's something King does now. He just blows up.
Just can blow up.
Dude, he's like Majin Buu.
Oh, he's also like freaking, what was it, Mr. 5?
He could shoot boogers that
He
blew
also like
up.
Gaius.
And he himself could
I was
blow
gonna
up.
say. Oh, yeah.
Gaius! Now that was a very well-drawn character. I loved his design. No
They were kinda similar.
joke. Is it Gaius or Gladius?
Gladius. It was Gladius.
Fucking Gladius, guys. Glad I figured that one out.
If you really think about it, they're kind of similar in like their design. Both have really pointy hair.
Hold on
Yeah,
now.
I like
Bert.
leather.
One guy is the pop fruit user. The other guy's the bomb fruit user. Completely different.
No, he's talking about this in King.
Oh!
No, I'm not. Actually, I was literally talking about
He was
Mr.
literally
5.
talking about the two people who
fair
are
enough.
so very different in their devil fruit powers.
Anyway, we cut away from that explosion to the pleasure hall. Left brains tower skull dome. That was Pirate Hunter on the snail just now, wasn't it? Trust me, he can't beat King. That guy's a remnant of the extinct Lunarians, a monster capable of surviving in any natural environment. In the distant past, what?
Sorry.
It's just, I'm sorry, Burke.
So
It's
there's
just,
a dot for Sanji.
But he just put a for the ellipses for Sanji.
It was funny.
I'm sorry, continue.
Too bad I was busy, being in character. In the distant past, his people were known as gods.
Then why would they have died out?
You want to know? Go ask a history book. Zuma, 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 zuma. Bima, 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 bima. I do like that retort from Queen. It's just like, I don't fucking know. Go read history, dumbass.
The scans, which that's actually what are going to be featured because I didn't screenshot the official. I actually enjoyed Queen's response there a little bit more in the scans, where he's like, "Go ask him." Like
that's also fair.
It's literally the same kind of thing, but like I love these responses.
Oh yeah, phrasing.
It's like I don't give a shit.
Either way, I like him, but I can definitely understand like. Go ask him, fucker.
Fucking, why do I know?
Why am I always the one expositing?
He can talk too. He doesn't, but he can.
He does his fucking pterodactyl thing while he's, talking.
Jerks his head off, It's like,
come a king. When we're in the Beast Pirates break room, he's just like, "Hey, Queen, it's you, Queen."
No,
I'm gonna shoot my snake
I
at you.
can just imagine whenever King just wants to make fun of Queen or just like get a one-up on Queen, just making that face at him by pulling his pterodactyl.
They have very much a similar relationships, as Sanji and Zoro
straight
do.
up, it's
they
like
just
the
fucking
same
hate each
thing.
other.
It's so great.
It's wonderful.
In all honesty, though,
Some honesty.
I like honesty.
Indeed.
King's fucking badass.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Super
yeah.
cool. And honestly,
the head pulling thing to track
Queen's
Zero.
badass.
Literally.
I think Queen's badass.
I like both of them. Honestly, I like them both. But the fact that he's giving Zoro so much trouble at this point now that all these people that didn't give him trouble just raises my evaluation of King that much more.
If you really think about it, we've been being prepared for King's entrance with Luffy this entire time. The dude stretches. That's his superpower. That's why he's so cool. King does a little bit of it, and we appreciate it. What can you say?
That's because it doesn't seem like it should be natural. We're used to it with Luffy.
Right, because Luffy's so natural.
Well, we're used to it with Luffy.
You know what I mean, though.
But, it's like, wait, that was, okay.
Yeah, it's a good time. But we're returning outside of the dome.
That was close. I'd be dead if I hadn't put up my armament hockey in time. But how's he still alive? He blew himself up. One sword style. Aye. Yai. Death Lion Song!
A really sick panel. A really cool one.
And for those of you who don't know, EI is a drawing slash.
If you'll also remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is the same move that he used on Kuma back in Thriller Bark when he attacked him after everything.
It's also the move used to defeat Mr. One.
Like, this is a move that has historically done a lot of things for Zoro, so it's a sick kind of one-shot
Well, that's the
kill
thing
deal.
about EIs is that they're meant to unleash full power in one fast strike.
Yeah, and it looks like it all came out, but when you move to the next panel...
As we look at King, and it looks like he's got the white eyes of defeat, essentially, as he's steaming. And we turn around.
Great.
He's not phased at all.
Pinwheel!
But that last one was a way better attack. As he grabs both of his swords out once more. And Enma starts acting up again. Wait! Enma, stop!
Deep wide!
Not now!
And steak! And just slashes. Like, he hasn't taken enough damage, Zoro, in this entire arc. This hits hard right across his side, coughing up blood, destroying a very good portion of the island in the process. Like, that was right up there with him. That swordman held back by his own sword. That's a new one.
As Zoro's falling through the air. Sandai Kitetsu!
Kitetsu the third.
Kitetsu 3 for official release. I
Yeah.
prefer to call it Sandai Kitetsu.
No, that's true.
You already reeled Sandai Kitetsu. That is one of mine. Wait, what? Really? This sword's bewitched. Are you a fool? I can't sell you that sword. If you died, it'd be like I killed you myself. I'll take it.
You're going to die just to save your sword as King lets off this fiery, very reminiscent of Sanji, kick and just sends Zoro flying.
Now that you mention that, I didn't really even notice that. That is very
It's
similar to a style that Sanji would have done.
Super
Well,
hot.
here's the thing too. In the anime, when King first encounters Sanji, they both do very similar flaming legs attacks against each other. So
It's almost like, in a way, Zoro is currently fighting a Sanji type.
I mean, I made that comparison a little while ago.
Oh, sure. I mean, we all have the idea that maybe there might be some elemental,
or
background.
Lunarian DNA tampering.
Right.
of
Whatever.
some kind.
Because clearly, I'm going to do a little pause here.
Of
Look,
course.
Queen was in some sort of scientific group with, Sanji's father, Judge. There's no reason not to maybe speculate that he might have had a bit of the Lunarian DNA traded for something to Judge while they were all working together, and that ended up in maybe one of Judge's kids.
To add to that, maybe that's why King seems to have such disdain for Queen. Maybe he took some of his DNA while he was sleeping, while he wasn't suspecting it, basically just without King's consent in the matter. It's possible, obviously.
It's all very interesting, but this burning leg shot is just so reminiscent. You can't not draw parallels.
And as Zoro crashes to the ground, that felt hot. Oh, good. You didn't fall off. Wado Ichimonji. And we flash back to Zoro back...
Quite a bit of flashbacks this one.
Yeah, back in his hometown. Sensei, may I have her sword?
I suppose so.
I'll have to keep the promise for both of us. I'm going to be such a great master swordsman that my name will be known even in heaven.
It must be some twist of fate. You see, that white blade, Wado Ichimonji and Enma, were both crafted by the same man, the blacksmith Shimotsuki Kozaburo.
It all came so sudden. I wasn't putting it together. Why would there be a famous katana of Wano in some tiny village of the East Blue?
Imperial slings and arrows! Do you have all 3 swords yet?
Enma!
As
Zoro continues to block it.
He's blocking, he's catching, because all the swords flew out of his hands a couple panels back. He's been retrieving them as he goes through.
Yeah.
King comes down with a giant wing attack right onto his blades, breaking through the wall.
Ah!
Zoro-chiro, I was told not to say Sunach.
It's just something the old guy in my village told me. I've never said it myself before.
What?
The old man was always sitting there at the coast. I never knew his name. It wasn't until the day he died that I learned he was Kuina's grandpa.
The blacksmith Shimotsuki Kozaburo. He broke the laws and left this land over 50 years ago.
13 years ago, East Blue, Zoro's hometown Frost Moon, also known as Shimotsuki Village.
Yay, ta!
Go ahead.
Yes, Sunach. It is a magic word that summons strength into your heart.
Well, that sounds weird. I don't need it. Anyway, old man, is it true you used to be a samurai? Everybody at the dojo was saying it.
Well, hush up about it, or the Navy will come and invade the village.
The Navy? Why?
None of your business, that's why. Get lost.
Sheesh, fine, stubborn old fart. As
he views Zoro in his training montage. Is the dojo boring to you?
I lost to Kuina again. I need more practice.
No.
What? But I can't pay for these.
I'm giving them to you. Trust me, they're crap. It's the only thing I seem to be able to forge anymore. Use them for practice if you want. Listen closely. A sword's like a kitchen knife, but for murder. They're created to kill people, and a blacksmith hones his craft so that his weapons are better at killing than any other.
Yikes!
A sword has its own personality. A swordsman must master it and bend it to his will. You think a dangerous sword is cursed? Ha! No, that's the sign of great quality. When the weak fear a sword and call it cursed, that is a badge of honor. They should be frightening. They're meant to cause terrible harm. There was one blade I crafted when I was a young man. It was the greatest weapon I ever made. Its disposition was deadly serious. Just holding it in your hand and a shiver down the spine. So I gave it that masterpiece, the name of the king who watches over hell.
We cut back as Zoro makes a stunning realization about his past. The king of the underworld. Enma. My village's name for Shimotsuki. Was it not a coincidence after all?
Did you know our village was built by pirates? That's what my grandma said. The blacksmith Shimotsuki Kozaburo, he broke the laws and left this land over 50 years ago.
So the old man was a samurai of Wano. The blacksmith Shimotsuki Kozaburo?
A great blade can see into you. It chooses only the swordsman who best suits it. A sword chooses its wielder.
It came to me. It chose me. So it could test me. And as he picks up Enma one more time with his haki out, and obviously his arm is suffering from this. The sword is honest and direct, not wicked. Yes, it's true. It was my strength that was lacking. Does this mean that even with so much haki being drained away, Odin wielded you as though you were light as a feather, Enma?
Look, it's Pirate Hunter! Oh, it is King! Let us take him out, sir! I could really use the promotion!
We get to one of the best parts of this entire chapter. How should I stabilize my haki then, if I have to keep exuding it at this level? It'll kill me. But no, that's perfect. And as all of these men fall to the ground, foaming at the mouth, unconscious, we get full-on confirmation of something that was hinted at a while ago.
I see. So, you intend to be a king then?
What? The world's greatest swordsman, that's great, and it's fitting, since your new boss is going to be the king of pirates. Anything else would make me look bad. That's right. I've got a promise to keep to my captain, and my best friend.
To be continued in 1034. End of chapter.
No break this time.
Thank God.
Next chapter officially will be released on December 5th, 2021. We'll get those scans about 2 days before that.
And if you read spoilers, a day or so before that.
Usually on Wednesdays before the chapter drops.
Well, Brock, we've been talking a lot. What did you think of this fucking chapter?
I mean, it was alright. I'm just kidding.
It was a very dialogue-heavy chapter, so sorry that me and Alex...
good.
Especially because you got a lot with Shimotsuki there.
I enjoyed that. That was
That
fun.
was fun.
I mean, I was a very exciting chapter. I mean, it wasn't... It was exciting, but it wasn't surprising.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you remember, Burke, I was always thoroughly convinced that when Kaido stated he had Conqueror's Haki, I saw that as essentially proof because Kaido knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He knows Conqueror's Haki when he sees it.
I just felt like there was some weird translation things there, in my opinion, based on scans versus official release, and just... I wanted to be absolutely sure, and this was the most concrete to me because people are passing out from Zoro upping his haki, essentially. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
But no, it was awesome as a Zoro fan. It's a great chapter, and now that I saw an article that also was like, now that Zoro is reaching that pinnacle, they can now officially start being
a Yonko crew?
The Pirate King crew.
Okay.
Because now he's becoming very, very reminiscent of Dark King Reign.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
I think full-on confirmation of Conqueror's Haki is what Zoro needed to be on the same level or close to the same level as.
Really. And I think by the end of this battle, he will fully come to terms with Enma. I think this is the beginning of that. I think he's got to practice a little bit in this fight to get there because Enma's still
absolutely
one hell of a sword to carry.
It's a wild sword.
It's the king of the underworld, but it's gonna make for one hell of a fucking fight.
Opinions on everybody's end. Do you think Zoro's gonna keep Enma after this, based on this chapter?
Oh, such a hard question.
I think so.
I see him swapping it back for Shusui.
See, I would have been on your side until this chapter, Alex. Because
I like him with Enma. I really do like him with Enma, and I think if he turns it into a black blade, that will convince me that it's his, and they won't take it back.
Is it not already considered a black blade?
Okay. One of the things that the Hitetsu guy who made the Kitetsus was talking about was how these two blades of Odin's hadn't been turned into black blades yet. So when Hiyori gave Enma to Zoro in exchange for Shusui, she's like, you can make this your own black blade, in this fight if you're able to. Noting that, her father, Odin, never made them to Black Blades, but used them very well. That was a bit, I think, in the anime, and I think a little bit in the manga. It was touched on more in the anime.
I'm sure.
But if he makes it into a Black Blade, I'm convinced he'll keep it. The reason I think that Shisui is a better sword for him to have longer term is that was the sword that killed a dragon, right? And if we're going to match him up fully with that Shimotsuki legacy, and he is, the great-grandson of this great dragon slayer, I just think as his third sword, that one makes a little bit more sense than Enma, which is, those two swords are generally held by, Odin, i.e. the Shogun of Wano, which I think would eventually go back to Momonosuke.
So this chapter, just on that Shimotsuki line, because obviously we saw that
We keep getting closer and closer to it.
Yeah.
But we're still not being told, yes, he is Shimotsuki.
Well, yeah. Because obviously the reason we're even speculating so much now is because we saw a Shimotsuki who looked eerily like an old Zoro.
Yeah, Ushimaru.
And it's just like, when you look at that, this chapter, it almost complicates it a little bit for me, because it's like, what's the answer here if that is the case? How does Zoro get to Shimotsuki Village, essentially? How does he get there?
Is he related to Kuina?
If he didn't come from that line of Kozaburo Shimotsuki, or whatever, if he didn't come from that line, how does he get there?
Well, and also, it could also be a matter of branch and main families.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
no, absolutely, I agree.
Wasn't the leader of the Shimotsuki dojo, right? Wasn't that the brother of Ushimaru, right?
Was that fully confirmed?
I believe that was.
I'm gonna do some background.
Do some background research. I'm gonna go with this until otherwise told no. But if I remember correctly, Ushimaru had brothers, and one of them that escaped Wano while he stayed in there and we fought. We saw Ushimaru in the cave and all that. He came to the East Blue with a bunch of refugees, including their grandfather, and that is when he started Shimotsuki Village, Kuina, etc., etc. If there had been let's say Zoro mom had come with them and left Ushimaru there, she could have bore him, and he could have been, this child. It also doesn't need to necessarily be like a marriage. It could have been like a...
No, go ahead.
It could have been like this was a, side piece of Ushimaru's that came with him because he wanted to protect her, but he wasn't the real wife, right? And so he can't get that name or whatever because they weren't, formally married, which, we've seen before with, Roger and all that,
yeah.
Portgas, Diaz and all that, and Rouge. But, I could see that as a way that he would be then cousins with Kuina, but also raised kind of away from that whole thing, but finding his way there anyway because fate, destiny, whatever you want to call it, that brings people in these kind of situations that you're all the way back in your homeland and you're fighting for your family without even knowing it, right?
Yeah.
Now, would I like to see potentially Enma, Shisui, and Wado? We haven't seen a sword of his die in a while. And I feel like, as cool as Kitetsu is, that cursed blade, we got that, in East Blue, right? That was Loketown. He got that in the extra one that was, the guy's favorite, and then that one died in Aeneas Lab because of rust. If Kitetsu goes out in a really cool way, I could see Enma and Shisui and Wado being his, perfect triple swords going into the end of the series, personally.
Really quick, there is no confirmation that Kyoshiro Shimotsuki or Shimotsuki Kyoshiro is related to Ushimaru.
But they're both Shimotsuki, right?
They are both Shimotsuki in name, so I don't know what the relation is, brother or cousin.
Age?
So we have currently Kyoshiro, as of time skip, is 51.
Okay. How old?
Let's see, Shimotsuki, how many years ago was...
the whole thing with Wano was, 20 years ago?
Well, so 20 years ago, but how long ago was Yamato in the cave?
Oh. So what is she right now? 28?
And I
don't think she's that old.
She's 20-something.
Yeah, she's in her 20s.
I'll look her up while I'm at it.
She's probably mid-20s.
There is no confirmed age for Shimotsuki Ushimaru.
Well,
I did not know this. Yasui. Did I miss that?
He's a Shimotsuki?
I did not know that he's a Shimotsuki.
He was the current head of the household when everything...
I missed that.
But I feel like, and this is why I feel like I'm saying this, because it would have been It's not Kyoshiro, right? It's Kyoshiro or something. It's different than
Koshiro.
Koshiro, right?
Koshiro.
I don't want to say Kyoshiro because then we're getting mixed up with one of the scabbards.
Which is fair. A lot of Wano names sound similar.
I feel like that person would have been the head of the household had they not escaped Wano, right? And that's why Yasui was. I can't remember.
28. You were spot on.
28.
On Yamato.
So I feel like they're of a similar age where they very well could be brothers, right? Ushimaru. And that's going to be my working theory. I'm just going to put that out there. That's my working theory. We'll see if it's confirmed. But if that all works out to be true, that's why... he is a descendant. He should have,
And yeah,
sushi.
According to the One Piece wiki, we are still operating under that Ushimaru is deceased. That is yet to be confirmed.
The only other thing that would lead us the other way is if he's one of those giants.
Yeah, I think
he's Fuga.
I think he might be Fuga.
Right. Because they all look eerily similar to those samurai.
It is interesting, that comparison. Okay.
Here's a question I have for you, Brock. Do you think King also has Conqueror's Haki?
I don't think so.
The only reason I think maybe he does is Katakuri, the second to Big Mom, did. So it would make sense to me that you would also have a Conqueror as your right hand if you yourself were.
Marco doesn't have it.
No, true.
But
then again, Whitebeard never used his, despite the fact we kind of all agree that he must have been a conqueror, right?
I'm pretty sure he used his at some point in time.
No, actually, now that you mention it, not during the war.
Outside of when he clashed with Roger, and you could assume they're both using Conquerors.
Actually, yeah, I was gonna say no. Never mind. Whitebeard had Conqueror.
But at Marineford,
there was not really a clear use of it except for from Luffy.
And this is also a weird question. Do you need to have Conquerors to not be knocked out by Conquerors?
No, you just have to have a powerful.
You just have to have a strong enough will.
So Marco has a strong enough will. He just doesn't have Conquerors.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
No, I don't think King has it. Obviously, that could be proved wrong later on.
It's so interesting if King didn't have King's Haki. You know what I mean?
No.
What do you think?
Here's the thing. There's also just a theme to the Beastman Pirates, King and Queen.
Jack.
Those are titles. So that doesn't coincide with necessarily his power. It coincides with the names of his moves. Imperial, Pride type deals, But right now, we haven't seen any proof of conquerors from him. If we do see it, it's going to be now that Zoro is fully awakened his conquerors.
Done it.
But if he doesn't do it, then we can assume that he doesn't have conquerors.
How cool would it be? And I'm only speculating that he might have it for the very cool reason of having a panel where they're both hitting, and it's that Conqueror's Katakuri Luffy bubble.
Yeah.
That makes it just so much more epic. Because oh yeah, you've unlocked that. Then let me take it up a notch. Because I feel like King has to have one more level, right? The whole pull the head back thing, which is fun, a great trope, and really deadly apparently. I feel like that can't be the height of his power. So I feel like there's got to be one more level of King to overcome before we finish.
So a couple things on that. I feel like, and here's the thing, I wouldn't be against him having conquerors. I think it'd be a worthwhile power for him to have. At the same time, though, I feel like at that point, between Luffy, Zoro, and Kaido, we start having too many conquerors on the field.
Because at this point we have Luffy, Zoro, Kaido, Big Mom.
Yamato
does have conquerors, you're correct.
And that's why she was able to fight.
Is that it? Is that just those 5?
Kid, right?
Maybe.
Does Kid have conquerors?
I don't think it was confirmed. He probably does.
I think it
I'll
was.
look it up, don't worry.
You sure? Okay.
No, I'm over here just looking
I
random.
feel like Kid was confirmed.
I can see him having it. I never heard the confirmation.
I feel like
there must have
been some.
Anyways, with King, I feel like he doesn't need conquerors to go to the next level because he is from a race that were known as gods who could adapt to any environment, and we've already seen what he can do at this point. Right now, he's tossing Zoro around like a toy.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen him go serious.
Nothing seems to have hurt him yet.
Mm-hmm.
Zoro broke his mask, but that's it, and there was no real blood or damage.
I feel like I think this fight is gonna give us a nice 101 into the basics and the advanced whatever of the Lunarians.
Do you think maybe yes?
Kid is one of the few people in the world who is capable of using all 3 forms of Haki.
Okay.
Do you think that the reason that Zoro hasn't been able to hit him up to this point is because he does a very similar thing with Kaido where he coats himself in conquerors?
No.
Because that could be a reasonable explanation.
Honestly, I think he's just that fast, and he's fighting a guy who's in the air right now.
He's taking these hits, but they haven't done shit, right?
Yeah, no,
Like
I honestly, whenever he gets hit, here's the thing: whenever he gets hit, there's fire there. I think it has to do more with the fact he's Lunarian than Conquerors, in my opinion.
They're just that tough.
If you're from a race that was known as gods,
but this pulls me right back to my Sanji question, right? Well, how'd they get decimated then? Right?
I mean,
if he's the last, right? So there must be a way.
No,
there
there's
must be some
definitely a way.
trick with them.
Zoro's got to win,
right? Well, yeah, but
There's
there has
gonna
to
be a
be
way.
some kind of trick that keeps them at that level. But if you figure it out, maybe then they're like Shedinja, right? In Pokemon, right? Only what status effects will instantly kill them.
It's very interesting what kills a Shedinja.
Yeah.
It always just says super effective hits, and I'm just like, that. What does that mean?
It can either not
if
effective.
you get a sandstorm going, which is why I always have my Tyranitar ready,
yeah,
it would just kill a Shedinja, no problem.
Right.
Really quick citation on that kid having hockey, chapter 924/episode 916. Kaido states that kid can use Shoku hockey.
Okay, cool.
I was going to look something else up in relation to that, so continue your thought.
He had Joker, who was a conqueror, way underneath his thumb, right? I can't imagine his top three would, at least one of them. Jack clearly won't.
We gotta take into account, though, that it's an inborn trait.
Yeah, you can't learn.
You can't learn conquerors.
Right.
Your skill level doesn't necessarily mean you have conquerors.
No.
Marco's proof of this.
Sure.
So that's why we can't really use any kind of power leveling, power scaling basis to say he's got to have conquerors just because he's second in command to Kaido.
I wouldn't say I'm sure he doesn't. I would just be curious if none of his top three people underneath Kaido didn't. When Doflamingo did and his daughter does, right?
Happens.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, none of what?
Here's the thing.
None of Whitebeard's commanders had conquerors. Besides Ace
Potentially
had
Ace,
conquerors.
Ace, I think.
Rogers, his father, he must have.
I'm assuming so.
I'd be surprised if he didn't.
I just wanted to double check.
He was just so weak and rain.
Of our worst generation members on Onigashima, so far it looks like just Luffy and Kid. Law has not been confirmed to ever have Haoshoku Haki. He only has Busu Shoku and Kenbun Shoku.
D doesn't mean that you have conquerors
No.
either.
Not
We've easily, because fucking Teach has none of that
Okay,
shit.
we will look up
I don't
here shortly.
No, like I said, I would not be surprised nor against King having conquerors.
Yeah.
I think it would make sense for someone of his standing. But at the same time, I would also be more than accepting, and I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. Because conquerors, in and of itself, is a wonderful power, but that is not what wins battles. That's not what that may help win wars, cut down things, but that doesn't win the big battles.
You'd say it's pretty important in the Kaido versus Luffy
Right now, yes.
That one is going to...
But I do get the feeling that if we have another Conquerors fight between these two, it just feels a bit repetitive. Overplayed in one scenario, if you know what I mean. Like, maybe if Zoro fights someone way later with the World Government or something that has that, yeah. But if we're doing all this at once where it's Conquerors versus Conquerors versus Conquerors versus Conquerors versus Conquerors, I'm like, okay, can we calm down the Conquerors? we just discovered
it's supposed to be rare.
We just discovered these powers.
Should be more than mythical Zoans.
Let's make it let's make this a big deal right now instead of everybody on the battlefield has this advanced Conquerors hockey.
Right. That's
So just to confirm, Ace was one of the very small number of people in the world who could use all three types of hockey. Ace possessed it which he initially had no conscious control over. He first demonstrated the ability at 10 years of age when he rendered the Blue Gem pirates.
That's true.
I remember that scene very well.
Except for Blue Gem unconscious after a burst.
Because Blue Gem was a conqueror too.
Fuck Blue Jam.
Blue Jam sucks.
Or he just had a
dipshit.
strong fucking will, but yeah, he sucks.
He's just an adult and the captain.
He's an adult. Adults suck. They ruin everything.
Is there a full list of Conqueror hockey users?
I will look it up
sure
for you, so keep going with that.
Because that way we can kind of just be like, who has it, who doesn't? Because now that's the whole reason that Yamato was able to hold off Kaido at all, right? Was because she had advanced conquerors. Odin had to have had it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because he
if
was.
Odin didn't, I'd be very surprised.
He was. I mean, I don't think he had a moment where he like knocked people out with it, but when he was fighting Roger or when he was fighting Whitebeard, like.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if Odin didn't have conquerors.
Okay, confirmed people in the series.
With conquerors.
We have Shanks, Monkey D. Luffy, Silver's Rayleigh, Boa Hancock, Don Quixote Don Flamingo, Chin Zhao, Don Chin Zhao,
Yep.
Charlotte Linlin, Charlotte Katakuri, Eustace Kid, Sengoku,
Yep.
Kaido, Roanoa Zoro, Yamato, Edward Newgate, Porcus the Ace, Kozuki Odin, and Goldie Roger. Non-canon users, we have Naguri and Douglas Bullet.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, sure. You know who was on that list?
You know who wasn't?
Yeah.
Foxy?
Foxy.
He is
It's not even non-canon.
He's above us.
You know, his slow fruit is actually its own weird incarnation of Conquerors, where it just makes you go really slow instead of passive.
This is your cross, huh, Burke?
Yeah.
You're gonna die on this cross.
Yeah. No,
Foxy has Conquerors.
I'm just kidding.
Fight me in the comments.
I'm
Fight me in the comments.
I'm giving Brock, an edge up. Normally,
Here's the guy, guys. Here's the thing, guys.
Here's the guy, guys.
Here's the guy, guys.
This
Foxy,
is Tom.
Foxy is above Conquerors. He's above Lunarians. He makes all the money for One Piece. Just accept his greatness. Get into the religion.
Brock, I'm really curious. What do you think Zoro's past? What would the best version of it be if Oda were to fully flesh out, where he comes
So, with the realization that Kuina is a Shimotsuki, if we're going, and there's a lot of evidence pointing that Zoro may be in the same line, though it sounds like he wasn't aware of that connection himself. It would not surprise me at all if they were from, like I said, different branches of the family. Like, for instance, I honestly want to believe that Zoro is from the main family, and Kuina is from the branch family, and the branch family got away and protected Zoro, type thing.
Ooh.
I would not be surprised if that was the case.
But they never told him because they didn't want him to be aware.
I think that would be a super cool situation.
That would be good. I'm for that quite a bit. Burke's making some really...
I think Burke really likes what I just said.
It's kind of like if Neji was not in the branch family, but they didn't tell him that.
Yeah.
So hear me out, boys.
Hear
me out.
He's coming back.
Once again, it wasn't down D stairs that killed Kuina.
It was an assassin!
It was an assassin sent by
Zoro.
fucking Orochi for Zoro, to which Kuina said, "No, I am the heir of the Shimotsukis. Kill me."
Jesus.
Oh, I do actually like that. That was actual chills. There was actual chills.
Why else do you think I just reacted the way I did?
That's fucking cool.
I do actually really... Yeah. I don't know if you're...
She died for her best friend so he could live out their dream.
Best friend and cousin.
Also somebody that the branch family, in essence, would serve if he is a member of the main line of the family. Oh,
damn!
Zoro is Wano royalty, bitches! He's gonna lose Sandai Kitetsu, he's gonna get Shusui, Enma, and Wado Ichimonji in one fell swoop! Boom!
And he's gonna marry Hiyori.
I really like that.
And he's gonna marry Hiyori, and he's gonna be the actual ruler of Wano. Fuck you!
Fuck you, Pirate Captain!
Momonosuke!
I'm chilling here! Your sister is older.
Sanji, cry your heart out, bitch!
What the fuck was that? We didn't need to go there for
He
that.
already did. To be fair, when
necessary.
Zoro saved
Zoro-
he already did. He already kind of cried his heart
Sanji's
out.
already been a prince for a whole fucking arc. Shut up. He won't
a shit prince.
He won't accept that. Neither will Zoro. It's
I
a
know,
whole thing.
I know.
It's good parallels.
I just think it was so funny.
It makes a lot of sense for Zoro to also be royalty. It really does.
But that is not my headcanon. Kuina didn't die falling down the fucking stairs.
I don't think anyone's
I
like
mean,
that.
I've already mentioned this before. I still was under the impression that it was an assassin of some kind. After we learned that the Shimotsukis, some of them fled Wano.
To be fair, and again, this goes back to a point I think I made a long time ago. Falling down the stairs in Japan can just mean suicide, right?
Possibly.
So that was the leading theory of she was never going to be good enough, that whole speech about her boobs,
Her being a woman.
and then she fell down the stairs, she killed herself. No one understands why.
The last time, it was Pirate Captain Down D stairs.
Jesus.
Down D stairs.
Down D stairs.
But yeah, no, wild speculation with this chapter. I think that's why it's so good, cool, because we're trying to see the levels of King. We're trying to really figure out where Zoro's coming from.
And of all the characters for it to happen to, god damn, if that was the case.
Yeah. Yeah, it just really goes to show that, Oda likes Zoro really a little bit more than other Straw Hats,
I don't.
You guys don't subscribe to that?
I'm not ever gonna subscribe to you see.
I think
he likes some characters
You
more
see
than
the
others.
videos of Oda hates Sanji, and I'm just like, that's.
He comes around to Sanji, but he makes him go through hell sometimes. But he comes around on it.
I mean, that's what.
I don't think he hates Sanji. I think he likes Zoro a little bit more than Sanji.
I don't even believe that.
Well, I think that could be the case. Every writer...
I think it could be the case that, if Oda is writing from the perspective of a fan, he probably enjoys Zoro more if he was a fan.
You can't draw a Death Lion song like this and not like Zoro more.
Well, no, here's the thing. Even
there have been some cool shots of Sanji.
Not this chapter.
Writers, they can still like some of the characters more than others.
Absolutely.
And I think that can apply to Z's and Oda, and I do believe. Obviously, I'm sure it says somewhere, but it wouldn't surprise if he liked Zoro more. I don't think it shows itself in the writing. I think it's just someone he liked more. But no, I think he puts love in all the right places for every character.
I agree that he loves all his characters. I don't agree that he loves them all equally.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I think that's impossible.
I think it is too.
I think that's impossible for any writer to love all of their characters equally.
It's like saying you love all your kids.
I mean, none of us have kids. So
none of us have kids, so we can't actually,
You don't
it's
want
like
kids.
doing kids. It's like with kids. There's going to be one that listens just a little bit better.
I'm making this comparison. You don't have kids.
My kids. I like some of them. But I think at the end of the day, I don't think it's a problem.
I think it's more a matter of the style of each character. Sanji is far more animated, and in some cases, he's far more energetic.
I think he's more introspective.
He's far more full of life. He's far more comedic in his reactions. He's far more dramatic, but this isn't a bad thing.
Which is one of the main reasons why, with this whole revelation of he could lose his emotions.
Yeah.
You lose a bunch of the character when all of a sudden Sanji's not an emotional person.
When he becomes like Zoro, where he doesn't seem to care in a fight, he just wants to win, and in a maniacal way, potentially, you're like, that's not Sanji.
No.
I don't like that. That's not how he
So I don't think it's a matter of him making cooler scenes with Zoro. I think he's making scenes that fit the character.
Yeah.
I think that's why Sanji's are a lot more lighthearted. Zoro has always been...
For the most part, lighthearted.
For the most part, yes. For the most part.
Whole cake was rough.
But overall...
This bit is rough.
Overall, comparatively.
Yeah.
Zoro's always been the stoic guy who's like, careful, I'll kill you type thing.
Yeah.
Out of all the Straw Hats, I always say this, the two that are most likely to kill because it's necessary are Zoro and Robin.
Yeah. She should have killed that one dude.
Spawned him?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he really should have. I don't get how that guy survived that shit.
I think they subscribe to their captain's beliefs of making them suffer through living through the defeats.
Well, I think it's the hell they've been through too. The darker your backstory, and Zoro really isn't that dark.
No, I mean he probably doesn't even know what his people have gone through. If we're right.
And even if he did, he protects his friends, but it's like his family. I don't know. Besides Kuina, that might make it personal. If it came out that someone did something to her,
absolutely.
Oh, I would not want to be on the other side of that, Zoro.
No.
Really quick, just a concession for me in the editing, Alex. Have you guys seen the image of the volumes 100 I believe it's 99 through 101, where they're all going to be a continued picture?
Oh, that's cool. I didn't see that.
So really quick, I'm going to send this to you, Alex.
I can screenshot
just a fun share so you can compare.
I'll drop that in this section.
Drop that in this section, and then here is the fake Straw Hats version that I'd like you to share with the audience.
I'll try to credit you. Whoever fucking made that.
That is posted by you, Samuel Joda.
No, shut up.
I will definitely credit to them.
That's fucking
just
funny.
fun little thing there.
I'll drop that in there. Oh, man.
Sorry to derail our discussion.
that's
No, I mean, I think we're getting close. So.
I was surprised when, last week I wasn't so sure we'd come back to Sanji at all, and largely we didn't, but like we didn't go to the places we were expecting, and I'm totally fine.
That theory
with that.
I shared last week about this week Kiroshiro would cut Orochi down.
Yeah.
I'm totally happy that theory didn't pan out, and it's not to say that still won't be the course of action.
More than likely, yeah.
But it's the main reason, like, I love that we do every end of chapter, we discuss, like, what we think will happen specifically next chapter. Where do you think we're going to go next chapter?
Yeah.
Because we can only speculate so far out when it comes to where do we go after King gets defeated? Where do we go?
Do you guys think, just from the way things are going, I think it can go many which ways, do you think this is going to be the first arc ever in which Zoro finishes his fight before Sanji?
Oh.
Well...
Just because there seems to be a lot more progress in Zoro's fight right now than Sanji's
I wouldn't say there's more progress.
Well, no, just because it just seems like...
Dude, he threw Queen through, like, how many walls?
No, just real quick, right now.
Go ahead.
It just seems like Sanji and King are still at kind of a standstill.
Sanji
and Queen.
Yeah.
Zoro has made basically almost a life-changing breakthrough at this point.
Here's what I'll say.
Or are we going to go back to Sanji and get that final fight before we go back to Zoro?
So historically, I'm assuming you're saying that
Sanji-
Zoro
Sanji-
finishes second.
Yeah, so
Sanji finishes fight, then Zoro finishes
then
fight.
Zoro finishes, then goes to Luffy's final fight.
Okay.
It's usually how it goes.
This is going to be a mad prediction.
Go off, Mad Lad.
Mad lad prediction.
Go off.
You know how we've had a number of panels
fuck.
where they've hit them at the same time.
Absolutely.
Right? Queen and King have been hit by Zoro and Sanji at the same time.
That's so off.
I think we could get a dual panel of them finishing at the same time.
I can see that.
That could be cool.
Wings flapping in tandem, if you would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can be down.
That'd be great. However, on your point of Sanji's going at it a little bit slower.
Now, let me tell you right now. Yeah, I wasn't insinuating that Sanji wasn't winning or that he wasn't making progress, so to speak.
Oh, no.
It just, from the looks of things, it seemed like Zoro's fight was progressing faster.
Let me drop some of my personal knowledge on you. Some real personal.
Quit dropping that on me.
Personal
Oh,
knowledge.
nasty. It's sticky.
Personal knowledge.
It's so
yeah,
sticky.
yeah. That sticky knowledge. Anyway, I would say that Zoro has done largely, and again, there's some trick here, no damage to King through no fault of his own. Sanji has been, in my opinion, kind of knocking Queen around, but no final hits are in, right?
Yeah.
I feel like Sanji wears Queen down to a final hit. Zoro figures out the thing and goes for the final hit, and then that's the dual picture of them both getting that. Maybe it's a new attack on each of them. Maybe it's an old favorite that's like revamped in a way. That's what that dual panel drops in.
I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I could see for these fights. I don't think it's happening soon, though. I think 2-3 chapters of maybe other stuff, or maybe they're just still doing back and forth shit.
I'm going to say right away, just so you guys don't ask me, my prediction will be the same as always.
Oh my god.
Fukurokuju! Show me that goddamn Fukurokuju.
Who
Get
is
that
he?
fight out of here.
Where is he?
You know, when I wrote the outro
So epic.
for last week's episode, I was so hoping that I was, knocking on wood or just like doing what I needed to, creating a frickin' pentagram to summon the end of the Fukurokuju fight, and it just still isn't happening. My God.
It's lasted so long comparatively.
All I want is for it not to be like a loss for Raizo, because that would actually piss me off.
At this point,
You
the
know?
amount of time we've waited to see.
Well, what I'm hoping for at this point is like we're gonna get some serious backstory here.
This
Since
is where
it's
Kaido's
lasting
backstory
so long.
starts.
right now, like next chapter.
No, with the end of that fight. Like, whoever wins, Rondo goes, ah, yes, I remember raising that Oni. Wonder whatever happened to Kaiho. And then it's like, do-do-do-do-do, Raizo raises Kaido, and it's a whole thing. No.
Kaido.
But, I feel like
Raizo
you
down.
have to have something at the end of that fight that actually is
Or in the middle of
necessary. No more middles. Let's end it and then go into something cool. Like, I don't know what...
What else can you do with floppy ear
It's
attacks?
Fukurokoju gonna go up to the roof and go, I beat Raizo.
Guys, I'm still baffled by the fact that fight isn't one of the ones finished yet. Of course I don't know what's gonna fucking happen.
We lost a supernova before that. We lost fucking Hawkins before
We lost fucking Jack before that, and he's one of the top performers.
And Parasparrow. Like, both of the fucking knights.
We're in the middle of fighting Big Mom and Kaido.
That might finish first. We might beat Big Mom before we finish the Fukurokoju.
Obviously,
they're just so evenly matched.
Foxy's gonna finish it. Anyways.
I want Onigashima to happen. I want Luffy to have beaten Kaido, and then I want him to turn Onigashima into a giant bouncy ball, and as it bounces away, the fucking whatever Kanjuro's will goes down to the bottom and explodes Onigashima as the only two people left in Onigashima.
Just a suicide pact.
Raizo and Fukurokoju.
No, Burke. The fucking Straw Hats have had their feast. They're on their way to the final road poneglyph. They leave Wano. We cut to a scene in a forest, and they're still throwing shit at earlobes. It's like, ah!
They arrive at Lodestar Island, and in the forest, they're on Lodestar Island. You just see Raizo and Fukurokoju. Their fight has taken them islands away.
They're on the final island, still fighting.
They're fighting on Laugh-Tale?
The scroll took them to Raftel, and they're still going at it with
No, they're fighting over on the moon. Enel's just mediating.
And I was like, what is this? What is happening?
And I was like, Grandpa, finish this fucking ninja off.
Why are you here?
Why are you on the moon? This is my very birth. No, that's kind of wild. All right, predictions. What do you want for next chapter?
I gave mine.
10:34.
Give me a more serious one.
No, he really wants that to end.
I want it to happen.
I want it to end.
I say this every fucking episode.
So is that going to be the whole chapter?
All right.
That could happen.
Because you really think that one chapter is going to be all that it takes for Fukurokoju?
The next 3 chapters is just that fight.
I'm still trying to figure out when fucking Denjiro's coming back, bro.
I think that one's sooner than you think, though.
I think that one.
I just don't know at this point.
I feel like that one has to do with Orochi.
Okay, serious prediction. You know, besides my hope that we get that Fukurokoju.
See, Fukurokoju was a drinker.
He was my father.
And a fiend. He was an elf's father.
I'm being talked at very aggressively here.
And he gave me this smile.
Well, at this point, I choose to believe that we're going to go in a traditional Straw Hat fashion. I honestly do think we will go to one of the lesser fights sometime soon. Whatever's left.
CP0 just started with Pooh and Drake.
I don't even know if that's lesser. That just might be a big old chain into something bigger. That's a big old chain.
It's lesser than Luffy Kaido.
Is it though? That shit could lead into a world war.
Well, yeah.
Bruh.
But not right now.
Chain reaction, bro. Anyways.
Could be.
No, I think I have a couple of things. Either we're going to lead into maybe finishing or at least advancing smaller fights, or we'll get more on Sanji's end in terms of bringing the fight closer to a close. Just because we've had 2 full Zoro chapters. That's a lot right now.
Last chapter was half and half, yeah.
Half and half?
It was Sanji calling Zoro and Zoro having a tough time, right? And then this one was more Zoro, less Sanji, where the last chapter was like more Sanji, right?
Either way, I think...
Was that last chapter or 2 chapters ago?
No, it was, didn't he call him on the dungeon?
2 chapters ago.
What was last chapter?
Pretty sure. Last chapter was we had the whole thing with Robin and Brooke jumping down on Fuga. We had the yokai coming down. And
Oh, yeah, 2 chapters ago. Okay.
Zoro getting his butt kicked by King.
yes.
No, but I will limit it to smaller fights get advanced / finished. We see more of Sanji / Zoro fights. That's my general.
I'm gonna go with. I want to find out where Iza and Marco are going. I want to get back to Orochi and Hiyori
Or Toki in your belief?
Toki in my strange belief, yeah. Whoever.
Unknown woman and Orochi.
Unknown woman with generally like green hair, blue hair, whatever hair.
Whatever that.
I think it's like Aqua.
And then CP0 or maybe
Is the third guy going after who's who?
he definitely is. He's definitely murdering him right now. That's
Literally right now.
That's being off screen.
He's shiganing him.
He's just and who's please no. I'm talking about Nika more.
I need to be racist to Jinpei more.
I'm sorry about that.
Praise the sun god.
Cancel culture at it again.
But yeah.
You're being canceled.
I'd say those three. Marco Izzo, CP0, Apu Drake, and then Hiyori, maybe Kiyashiro/Denjiro. Just give me... You know what? Denjiro at all. Please.
Does he exist even? Is he a dream?
You know what he's doing? He's hanging out on Big Mom ship.
Is this all a napping Kiyoshiro's dream right now?
He's hanging out on Big Mom ship with all the fucking siblings. They're having sake or some shit.
My legitimate prediction / hope for next chapter is I need 3 storylines going at once. Like, forwarding of at least 3 storylines. We only got really 1 storyline moving forward in this chapter, which was just Zoro.
Just to be clear, Yamato's on her way to Orochi's place, right? Or
basically where Orochi's at.
Right? She's going to the weapons chamber. That's where he currently was hanging out.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. There's going to be a lot of crisscrossing.
There's going to be a lot of crisscrossing.
She sees Kamasori?
Who?
Hiyori's alternate.
Kumurasaki.
Kumurasaki, yeah.
She sees Hiyori. She's like, my daughter!
I thought you were going
I'm your
Kumidori.
father!
I'm like, he's not in this.
God, please no.
She did it to Momo already.
I know.
Momo was like, huh? The fuck, Daddy?
Poor Momo.
If I had to choose which 3 storylines I want, though, I want the middle of the chapter to be the end of the... No.
We're not there yet.
Of the Raizo fight.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one.
I want that to be the middle portion. I want that to be the end. I want us to start with something cool, like maybe whatever the hell Kid and Law are doing with Big Mom now that she's all freaky psycho. Please, no. Please, God, no. They can both fit in there at this point.
Damn.
Full body.
She's even.
No, that was a Marine lieutenant. Full body.
Oh yeah, full body. Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
What a bitch.
He's one of Hina anyway. It's fine.
That'll never happen.
Exactly.
Good for him.
Because Django's totally gonna beat. Because he's got a dick on his chin.
And he's a hypnotist.
And
that's a hentai just waiting to happen.
Anyway,
it's already made.
So yeah, I would say start with more Law Kid, finish Raizo in the middle next chapter, end on a cutback to Luffy Kaido.
Are Robin and Brooke going somewhere, or are they just running?
They're just running currently?
They're just running.
They didn't have like a goal.
They have a goal.
Well, I mean, I think their goal is to immediately get away from CP0.
Get away from the fire!
Because that's kind of a big thing to come after you.
Brooke should just finish him.
Yes, he can go finish 2 of the masked agents by himself.
Dude, a fucking fireball fell on them and they didn't do shit. I don't know. I'm not saying they're...
I mean, the fireball didn't do shit.
Well, I mean, they got up, but like, still...
I'm pretty sure they were fine.
They got caught in that. No shave, no Geppo. That was kind of weird. You know, in my personal opinion, I'm not impressed with them so far. I feel like I will be. But so far, they got a fireball dropped on them, and then they didn't kill Apu.
And got up right away.
And didn't kill Apu, and then got blasted by him, and now they're going to go 2v2 versus Drake. And I don't know. I'm curious to see where their powers actually come from, if they have devil fruits, etc., etc. Are they more animal people? I don't know.
I mean, I'm hearing a lot of smack talking from the guy who...
I don't know. CPA just come eat my ass. I don't know. Come at
Don't at me, bro.
Don't at me.
Hashtag CP0.
Don't
losers.
at me if you ain't gonna eat me. All right. Anything else?
I said my 2 cents.
Yep. Brock.
Nope.
No, I know, but you always get your last word in.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the end of the...
All right. 10:33 is over. We'll see you all next week. No break. 10:34.
Foxy.
Alright, listeners, that concludes this episode of the Yonko Podcast. Lots of swordsman hype and speculation as our would-be conqueror takes another step towards Mihawk's throne. And now a word from all the Zoro fans out there. My man, let's go! Slay that king! With that, we will see you all next time on the Yonko Podcast Chapter Review 1034. No break this week. Alright, boys, we're off!